This is a demonstration of EASOL, or the Educator and Student Open Learning Dashboard. What the EASOL dashboard provides is a low-cost, easy-to-use way to provide school administrators, data coordinators, and educators ways to visualize data found within their learning environments. Underlying the EASL dashboard is an openly licensed EdFi Alliance data store that helps accumulate data from multiple systems found in a school learning environment. I'll go ahead and show what this means in a second. First, let me talk through how to get into the EASL system. Two ways. One is using a standard email and password. If the environment is a Google Apps for Education environment, then one may use the Google single sign-on to log in. For this demonstration, let's just go ahead and use an email and password. The EASL dashboard is a role-based system, meaning that you'll see different things depending on who you are within a school environment. For demonstration purposes, in this case, I am logged in as a data administrator at a district, so I have full visibility over many schools within my environment. If I'm an educator or a principal assigned to one school, I'll just go straight into the dashboard page that we'll see next. For demonstration purposes, I'll go ahead and select Grand Bend Middle School as my target school and purposes of data visualization. Let me make a note here that all of the data that you'll see is fake and it doesn't contain any student names, personally identifiable information. We only use it for demonstration and development purposes only. Okay, now that I've selected Grand Bend Middle School, I'll go ahead and move into my home page, which is a customized dashboard. As I see, I have two graphs here up at the top, one on the left, one on the right, and then a tabular listing down below. This dashboard, and I'll show this a little bit later in the demo, is customizable per school, per role. So an educator may have a different dashboard than a data coordinator. That may have a different dashboard than teachers over at another school. This is highly customizable depending on each school's needs on what they would like to provide for their end users. I have the choice up top with the graphs of providing bar charts or pie charts or also stacked bar charts. We'll show how that comes together in just a minute. But for sample purposes here, one of my graphs is the state ELA assessments taken by students per year. So in 2013, for example, 320 students have taken this. I could wave my cursor over the bar to see what that value is. Same thing with the pie chart. I could wave that over for my enrollment by grade level report and see how many students are in each grade level. Also down below, I have a tabular listing of whatever data attributes that I would like to see. Here's a listing of my ELA courses available at Grand Bend Middle School. Looking down the left navigation, as I click on these icons, this shows some canned reports commonly in use by schools today. So first, as I click on the student icon, I have a view here to where I could see the student enrollment at my particular school. I can use a search functionality to target down just out of that list students that I want to view. I could also use filters to see filter by year, grade level, or cohort. Selecting a student will bring in a detailed view of that particular student's attributes. Again, this is all test and demo data. The first tab shows me an overview of that student and some simple demographics about who they may be. Clicking on the next tab is contact information of their address, parents, students, as well as telephone numbers. Clicking over to the next tab, I see what sections that this student may be enrolled in. Next tab, attendance, to see what days the student was present for. Clicking on assessments, a listing of assessments that they may have taken. And then lastly, cohorts, any cohorts that they may have been selected or enrolled in. Selecting the sections icon, I could see a view of all of the sections that are available for this course. And again, up top, I have filters, so I could filter down by term, school year, course, or educator. And then down below, I have a view of the sections that are enrolled at that school, how many students are enrolled in that section, who is the educator who teaches that section, and also what is a sample of the grades to date in that section. Clicking on a section title, I'll move in to see a little bit more detail. Who are the students enrolled in that section, as well as any details about that section. Clicking on the attendance icon, looking at some of the sample data that we have here for 3 students. What are their attendance events in terms of present, excused, and unexcused? Again, we could filter that by grade level and by school year. Clicking on a student will bring you back to that student detail list. Clicking on the icon for assessments will show me a listing of assessments performed at that school and throughout those various school cohorts. Here I have an NWEA math assessment administered in the fall at the 5th grade. Of course, the subject is mathematics, which is one of my filters up top. The version was the 2014 version of the assessment. It was administered on 10/1 of 2013. 40 students took that assessment, and the average result is 206. Clicking on an assessment title will drill that down and show me who the students that have taken that assessment, as well as what their score is. And then the last CAN report that we'll look at is cohort. In the cohort view, this will show all of the available cohorts, which are arbitrary groupings of students available at that school. So this might be after school programs, this may be learning groups, any group of arbitrary students that you'd like to put in a cohort is available. Here I see that I have 2 students available in my 2015 test week. Clicking through that, we see the details of the cohort, a description of that cohort, as well as the students that are enrolled in that. What you'll notice at the end of each one of these CAN reports is a Download CSV button. The intention behind the Download CSV button is to provide school administrators or educators a way to download the underlying data seen here and bring that into a program like Excel to further utilize it, be it another learning system or to do their own pivot tables and graphs. To show how that customized dashboard comes together, let's take a view into the Flex Reports feature. Now, this feature is only available to data administrators or IT administrators of the EASOL dashboard platform. This is not intended for school administrators or teachers, as they will be the recipients of the customized views. So if I am a data administrator, I can click on the Flex Reports feature, and that brings up a listing of customized reports. As I take a look at one of these, let's take a look at the source for that state ELA student assessments per year report. We'll see that I have the attributes that go into driving that report on the home page for that principal or teacher. First here we see at the top a report name, so give it a customized title. We could put it into a category or add new categories if we would like. Down below that is command text. Now this is special SQL code that a data administrator would use in their data tools as part of that EdFi data store to help customize that report. They're working closely with an administrator or educator to understand exactly what the reporting requirements are. Then they go into their development environment to figure out what the right statement is. Once they do get that statement, they can paste that here into the EASOL Flex Report environment to help populate and bring to life that chart, graph, or table. Again, this is not meant for administrators or educators. However, they'll derive the benefit of that data coordinator's work. And if this is a chart or graph, I'll have an opportunity to name an x-axis label, y-axis label. I have a display type, and here I could do a tabular listing, which I saw on the home page down below the two charts, a bar chart, a pie chart, or a stacked bar chart. And then down below that, I have access rules for school administrators, educators, or any other roles that I load into the EASOL system. Data coordinators or data administrators get to see reports for the full district. Once I'm done with that, I could click on Preview to get a quick look at the output of that report to make sure that it's right. Okay, that's what I intended. Then I could update it to save it. As you see here, I have a number of reports that we've made for demo purposes. Down below, this is that customize ability to provide reports per role per school. So my system administrators have a set of reports, my data administrator, school administrator, educator, and any other roles that I load into the EASOL dashboard. Each one of them gets a choice of a left chart, right chart, and a bottom tabular listing. Again, this is an administrative function that's meant to be driven by a data or IT administrator. But once they work with the educator or the administrator, they could fine tune that home page, that dashboard page, to give them exactly attributes and data visualizations that are important to them. Also, let's take a peek at another administrator function to help manage the data that's underlying the EASOL dashboard. There's a data management function here that's available for IT administrators or data administrators. What this allows me to do is take a quick look at the data inside the district's data store and also give me an opportunity to upload new data in a very quick method. So as I click on one of the over 200 objects in that EdFi data store, I see what the shape of the table is that I would need to be able to upload data into the EASOL dashboard. There's an option here to give me a template, which I could click on to open up in Excel, and then I could take data from my source systems, my student information system, my attendance system. I could populate this. Once populated, I could use the upload feature, and then this will go directly into the data store that helps power this dashboard. Now, this isn't the only way to get data into the system, and because it requires some manual effort, it is not used for day-to-day purposes. But if I needed to quickly get in a student roster or update the end of the year state summative assessments, this is an easy way to be able to go in and populate that without having to go into the back end of the EASOL dashboard. Okay, now that we've taken a look at the data management, visualization, and customization features of the EASOL dashboard, let's have a look at the Learning Lab, a feature that's used to help supplement instructional material in the classroom. Starting off with the content feature, this allows me to search through a vast collection of over 100,000 digital items targeted for K through 12 education. So as I type in a search here to support a lesson plan on the moon, I see that I have over 725 items returned that fit that description. As I look at my search, I have a thumbnail of that resource, title of the resource, description of what that teaches, publisher, as well as standards. We see here on the left, if the publisher has submitted attributes and metadata about what that item teaches, we're able to further narrow our searches down to those items. So I have filters here for subjects, publisher, resource type, grade level, and standards. So let's say if I want to find something that supports a particular Common Core learning standard, also next generation science standards, or any standard that your digital items may have are supported. So as I select on this ELA standard, L3.4, we notice that my selection is now just titled, or targeted rather, down to that item that has been tagged with that. And we see that it's been tagged with a number of both next generation science standards as well as Common Core state standards. Because the Center for Education Innovation classrooms are moving to the Google Apps for Education platform, we've also integrated the EASOL content search seamlessly within Google Classrooms. We do so with this plugin here called the EASOL Learning Lab extension for Chrome. As I log into my Google Classrooms development instance, now as I bring up a sample section, we see that Google Classrooms is a very easy to use learning management system. I could create assignments, announcements, questions, on-demand polls. For the purposes of this demo, let's see what it's like to create an assignment. As I create an assignment, very simple interface. Type the title of my item, any instructions for the student, what day does it due. I could attach a file, a PDF, a Word document. I could attach something from my Google Drive. There's a YouTube video search here. What we've observed is that not necessarily always targeted for education, but a lot of good items in this, as well as attach a link to an existing web page or website. What we've done to help augment and bring that EASOL content search experience into Google Classrooms is develop this Chrome extension to help seamlessly allow for those searches right here in Google Classroom to bring that same curated content approach, but without having to flip back to the dashboard. So as I click on that Chrome plugin, we'll see we get the same interface that I've used before, and actually my search is already pre-populated from the last, it remembers that. Let's say if I want to teach now something about the Earth. A number of Earth items come up. I could click on preview, that would jump off to another tab. It'll save my search for the next time that I come back. Or if I've evaluated this item and I think that it's going to fit my lesson plan, I want to assign it to my students, I could click on add to assignment. What will happen is it'll automatically go back to Google Classrooms and create an assignment, fill in that form for those students. So now I just pick my due date. We're going to make that due March 1st. And now that's been assigned out to the students that are in this course. This extension has a dual function. As you notice, it's gray right now. And as I switch over to google.com, it's green. What this is showing is the analytical ability of the Chrome extension. There's two versions, one for the educator to help do those content searches and to make assignments, and another for the student. The student version takes on a different function. A district IT administrator could use the Google Apps for Education platform to distribute this automatically down to Chromebooks or other Chrome browsers and devices. And what this will do for the educator is help bring information on how content is being used within a classroom. This is particularly effective for one-on-one, personalized, and other blended digital programs. So as the district administrator distributes this out to Chromebooks, the student will automatically see this icon as they browse the web. It'll turn green if a domain has been whitelisted or specified by the district administrator as something that's learning appropriate. If the student veers off after the learning assignments are done and takes some personal time, that icon will go to gray, specifying that learning analytics is not being observed. As I click back to my EASOL dashboard, I'm in the analytics section of the Learning Lab. What this shows me is a listing of all of the sections within that school because I'm logged in as the data administrator role. If I'm logged in as a teacher role, it'll only show me the sections in which I teach. So in this high-level overview, I could see how much average online time is being spent per section. As I drill into a section, we get a little bit more detail on how much time is being spent online per each student and for the videos that they're watching. Also, I get a summary count of page visited and videos watched. And then lastly, as I click through a student's name, for that particular section, I can see a timeline of the content that they've viewed. This is both videos and the pages that they viewed. This is only test data, so it's only showing a small section, but we could see that this particular student is on these different digital assignments for various minutes throughout the day. This concludes the demonstration of the EASOL dashboard. We've seen how EASOL provides easy-to-use, customized data reporting for learning facts typically found in school and district environments. We've also seen EASOL provide content searches with a content library of over 100,000 items to help support instruction in the classroom. Lastly, we've seen EASOL provide learning analytic data back to the educator on how those digital items are being used in the classroom. EASOL is open source and available for any district to use by visiting github.com/EASOL. Here we see the source code is fully available and for any district administrator or IT staff to be able to install. Lastly, if you would like to get in contact with the EASOL team, please visit easol.org.